Okay, you guys, very exciting. I've decided to do another sort of book tag, but this one's a little bit different. This is the bookshelf scavenger hunt tag, where we find things on the list on my bookshelf. I will be using this bookshelf that you see behind me, which stretches all the way over there, and there's actually a book nook. It comes back in on itself, and there's more books. And I will also be using the books out in my living room. So I have a lot to look through to answer these questions, so we'll give it my best shot here. I'll also try to keep these short because I don't know how long it's going to take me to find these things. The first one is find a book with a letter Z, either the author's name or the title. Let's do this. That wasn't actually too hard. Found it with one in the title, and that is Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Nailed it! The next one is find a classic book. That's pretty easy. I never heard it said that plays aren't allowed, so bam, Hamlet. That's a classic if there ever was one. You can probably quote lines from Hamlet even if you haven't even read or seen Hamlet. Yes. By the way, I have been in Hamlet. Twice? No, just once. I've been in Hamlet. Knocking everything down again. That's what happens. My bookshelves are also like my display for all my weird little knickknacks. Flower will not stand up. Flower, go down here. Next is find a book with a key on it. Let's see if we can do that. I'm sorry, I have failed you. I could not find a book with a key on it. Found a book with a key in it, The Secret Garden. I was hoping it would have a key on it somewhere, but it does not. Sorry, none of my books that I found have keys on them. I'm terrible at this. I feel shame. This next one is going to be super easy. That is, find something on your shelves that's not a book. Holy crap, do I have a lot of stuff on my shelves that's not books. Lots of stuff. I think I'm going to go with Teeny Tiny Geordie LaForge. You see Teeny Tiny Geordie? I have no idea where he came from, but he hangs out here now. Now you know he's there. Always watching. Next we will find the oldest book on your shelf. I have a lot of older books because I inherited a great deal of my grandmother's book collection. So let's just go find one that I know is pretty old. I don't have the time to go through them all and figure out which is oldest. I'm going to go with The Wishing Horse of Oz. It was made out to my grandmother, Joan, in 1937. And it has her maiden name on it, so it's obviously before she got married. It's a really cool book. I actually have a lot of these Oz books, but this is the one that I grabbed, so this is a really old book. Next up is another easy one. Find a book with a girl on the cover. I'm just going to reach right back over here and grab out Gypsy Rizka by Lloyd Alexander. It's still got the price tag on it from Half Price Books. Anyway, this is a delightful little book. If you have not read Lloyd Alexander, you should. As you can see, there she is, right on the cover. She's awesome. Next up is find a book with an animal. Oh man, in my collection, you're hard-pressed to find a book that doesn't have an animal. We're going to go with this older copy of All Things Bright and Beautiful, which is one of the James Herriot ones. I also have All Creatures Great and Small in here somewhere. This is the one that I grabbed. There's animals on the cover. Animals. A lot of my books have animals in them. I love animals so much. Next up is find a book with a male protagonist. That won't be hard either. Give me a second. Well, look at that. I just turned around and grabbed my copy of Frankenstein right off the shelf. Male protagonist, Dr. Frankenstein. Alternately also the monster. A lot of men in this book. That's what's going on. Next up is find a book with only words on the cover, presumably a book that isn't missing its dust cover because I have a lot of those. So let's see what I can find. Let's see what I can find. I was going to cheat and do a play, but then I remembered Cut by Patricia McCormick. As you can see, all words, I know it has a price tag on it as well from Half Price Books. There you go. Next up is find a book with illustrations. Well, picture books have illustrations, right? And this is a book by a friend of mine, someone that I grew up with in my theater, Nicole Henning, and she did amazing writing and illustrations for this book. My Wish for You is what it's called. And someday I'll do a review of it. It's really, it's a picture book, so it's hard to do a full review of it by itself, so hopefully I'll maybe find some other picture books and then I'll do a review. There you go, book with illustrations. You can buy this book right now if you want to. Go buy it. Go buy it immediately. Thank you. Next is find a book with gold lettering. Let's see what we can do. Here we go with gold lettering. We have Tris by Brian Jakes. This is a used copy, and whoever had it before me was clearly a child because there are some pen marks on it, but as you can see, Tris is in gold lettering. Aww. Someday I want to own all of these books in hardcover and like new condition, but I don't have a lot of money for books. Next up is find a diary, either a real diary or a fake diary. I don't know, maybe Speak, because that is told from a first-person point of view and in a sort of diary-like way. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm failing at a couple of these. I'm really good for a couple and failing at a few more. Man, why don't I have a copy of Diary of a Wimpy Kid? I'd be all set. Next is find a book by someone with a common name, like Smith. Oh, look at that! It's a book with the name Emily Lupke on it, both of which are super common, at least in my area. Emily is a really, really common girl's name, and Lupke is a really, really common German last name. And I live in Wisconsin, where all the Germans are. But it's my book. It's Phoenix, which you can purchase for yourself. Digital copy. Buy it on Amazon. Links in the doobly-doo. Yeah, no, but seriously, I hate my name, Emily. It is so boring and so common, and I just hate it. That's why I go by Julian most of the time. Next is find a book with a close-up of something on it. Let's see what I can do. Okay, I'm having a heck of a time finding that too, but I decided on this one, Cyrano, because it has a really big close-up of a nostril. Boy, like, if you had a nose that long, would your nostril actually grow that long too? Or would the nostril remain smaller and the nose just the tip of the nose? I don't know. There you go. Giant nostril. Next is find a book that takes place in the earliest time period. I went with Macbeth, because I cannot be arsed to figure out which of my books takes place in the earliest time period, but Macbeth takes place pretty darn early. So there you go. Scotsmen, Moors, the English just starting to show up. There you go. This one's going to be easy. Find a hardcover without its dust jacket. I have a lot of those. I have a tendency to lose dust jackets or buy used books without dust jackets on them. So this is going to be easy. The real hard question is, which one do I pick? I decided to go with my copy of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I have no idea where the dust jacket is for this. I've had this since I was quite young. It is well loved. This is the book that I have read the most in the Harry Potter series. Some of you are probably crying to see the condition that it's in because it is starting to fall apart. There's water stains. This book is well loved. And I don't care what you say, I like it better this way than I would if it was in pristine condition. Next is find a book with a teal or turquoise cover or dust jacket. Okay, here we go. That's kind of tealish. Sure, it's more green, but it's a little bit... We'll go with it. Treasury of Christmas. It has pretty illustrations. We're going with it. The next is find a book with stars on it. This one might also be kind of challenging. I'm going to try my best, but no guarantee that I will succeed. Oh, here we go. Here we go. A Wrinkle in Time. There's stars. Can you see them? They're there. Bam! Stars. And the next question is going to be pretty easy as well, and that is find a non-YA book. Well, as you probably noticed, I have a pretty interesting book collection, so I'm sure I can find something that's not YA pretty easily. The real question here is, which non-YA thing do I want to show off to you guys? That's the real question. Okay, I grabbed this one because it was really close to me and it is really hot in this room and I'm slowly dying. So that is Wicked. Definitely not a YA. I actually did not enjoy Wicked very much. You can check out my thoughts. There's a review for that. I'll try to remember to link you in the doobly-doo. But Wicked, not YA. So there you go. That was my bookshelf scavenger hunt. Did you enjoy it? I know I did. Do you like getting to know my books a little bit better? I've got some weird ones. I've got a really interesting and eclectic collection of books. but they mostly are books that I love, or books that I was gifted, but mostly a lot of them are books that I love and books that I inherited from my grandmother and my grandfather. Remember, if you enjoyed what you saw here, please share it with your friends, like, subscribe, yada yada yada. I know there were no cats in this video. There's a cat up there, but you can't see him. He's hanging out on top of a bookshelf. And I will see you all again next time for whatever I happen to be doing next time. Mwah.